Yeah, let me repeat. So we have the now we are going to discuss about the RFC types. So yesterday in our previous class we discussed about the RFC connection types. How many types of connectivity? How many ways we can do the connectivity, like above to above, SAP to non-SAP, SAP to SAP, it's in internal connections, SAP programs like TCP/IP connections. So these things we discussed, right? This is purely theoretical. RFC connect, RFC types. Those are the RFC connection types. These are the RFC types. We have four types of RFC types. So one is the synchronous RFC, right? Synchronous RFC. Synchronous RFC. And second one is for the asynchronous RFC. Synchronous RFC and asynchronous RFC. Synchronous and asynchronous order, reverse order. So synchronous and asynchronous RFC. So the third one is like transactional RFC. Okay, transactional RFC. This transactional RFCs. And fourth one is called the queued RFC. Queued RFC. Okay, queue wise the data will flow. Queued RFCs. Queued RFC. So they are the four types of RFC connections. One is the synchronous RFC. Normally we will call it as the in the short name like SRFC. Okay, and this is called the ARFC. So asynchronous RFC. So transactional RFC means TRFC. TRFC we can monitor in SM58 transaction code. We can monitor the queued RFC, the transactional RFCs. Then QRFC is called the QRFC. QRFC, that is called the QRFC. So these are the four types of RFC types. Types of RFCs means these are the types. So during the interview they may ask you questions. So you have to carefully listen and answer it. So he is asking the RFC connection types or RFC types. Okay, so carefully you have to answer. Okay, so what is mean by synchronous RFC? Okay, let's start discussing about the SRFC, synchronous RFC. Okay, SRFC, synchronous RFC. So synchronous RFC means it's a reliable and also consistent transfer the data between systems. So both the systems are here. Both the systems, source and target systems, both should be available. Suppose I want to transfer the data from this is the SAP system, this is the one of SAP system. So synchronous RFC means both the systems should be available. Both systems should be available. Then only the data will be transferred. Both the systems are available. Then only the transfer, both the systems are available. Then only the data will be flowed. The data will be flowed, and both the systems are available to transfer the data. Okay, so the program in the source until wait. So here what happens, you sent one data here. Synchronous means you sent one data here. So there is a one data here. Suppose the example, there is a one data you want to send to the target system here. So the data is flowing through RFC destination here. The data is flowing through RFC destination, RFC destination, RFC destination. Then the data is received to the here. Okay, here it is received. Then once it is received, the secondary, the target system will send the acknowledgement. Boss, I received your data. Can you send me the one more data? Like that, it will send the acknowledgement. Then it will send the data, which means there is a reliability here. There is a reliability. There is no chance of missing the data, which means both systems should be available. Then the primary, like target keep on sending the data. Sorry, source keep on sending the data. The target will receive it, will send the acknowledgement back to source. Acknowledgement back to source saying that, so hi, I am received your data. So this is my acknowledgement. So then send me the one more data, so that So primary one data is sent successfully, then it will sending the one more data, one more data, one more data. So which means synchronous means successfully it will send like successfully it will receive the acknowledgement. The main basically the synchronous one it will wait for the acknowledgement, then then it will send the next data, next set of programs or next set of data it will send to the secondary, like secondary means target system. Okay, so that is the synchronous RFC. What about the asynchronous RFC? It's not reliable process to transfer the data. The source system send the data without verifying target status. The source system won't get any acknowledgement from the target. So which means it's a completely different, it's completely opposite. The source system keep on sending the data to your target system through RFC, but it does not wait, it does not look like my target received my data or not. It does not look. Immediately keep on sending the data, keep on sending the data. It will not bother about. So this same concept will come in the HANA as well. Same concept in the HANA replication modes, it will come. So same concept will come in the HANA as well. Okay. So synchronous means it will wait for the acknowledgement from your target, then send the another data, which means properly one properly it will send the data to which is reliable, and also consistency, it will maintain the consistency. Without asynchronous means it's not reliable, right? Why? Because for your source means this is the source is not waiting for acknowledgement from the target. It's not waiting for the acknowledgement from the target, then keep on sending the data. So it will not bother about my target either received the data or not. It keep on sending the data, keep on sending the data, keep on sending the data. That's it. That is the asynchronous RFC, right? Got it? So that is the asynchronous RFC. So transactional RFC. Transactional RFC, next one is like transactional RFC. The transactional RFC means same as like asynchronous only. This is also same as like asynchronous only. But here when transferring the data to primary to secondary, so primary means, so I will call it as the here source to target. When it comes to the HANA, primary to secondary. So okay, so the words are different. The main aim is, the bottom line is same. The bottom lines is same, like source, target, primary, secondary. Okay, so both SAP systems keep on sending the data. Transactional RFC means it's similar to asynchronous RFC only. The RFC connection, when it but it is this RFC connection, the transactional RFC connection will assign the one transactional ID, one transactional ID. It will assign the one transactional ID at a remote system. It will assign it for recognizing the request. Suppose source is sending the data to target, but here while sending, it will assign the one ID, one transactional ID. It will assign to the, so that request it will go to the target system. It will store to the target system. But if the target is down, okay. So but if the target is down, here. Suppose some reason the target is down here, then will the connection broken? No, the data will held in the data will be held and pipeline in the source system only. All the transactional RFCs and everything will get stuck in here only. It will wait for the target system should be available. Once the target is available, then it will send the data to your target system. It will send it out, which means, so the transactional RFC means similar like if it's like the similar like asynchronous RFC only, but here while sending the data to primary to target or source to target, then it will assign the one ID, one transactional ID to recognize the wrist. So it will assign the one transactional ID. Why it is assigning the transactional ID? To identify, to recognize the same data whether received to the here or not. So it will identify. Then the remote won't process the request multiple times, even though the source is sending the multiple systems. So why it is assigning the transactional ID. For one data, why it is assigning the transactional ID? Unfortunately, one data is went to the target system like 1, 2, 3, 4. So okay, let me take one example here. Okay, let me take one example. There is a data here. So there is a data. The data it is sending to the target system. While sending, it is assigned the one ID like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One ID it is assigned to the data. The data it went to the here. It's already went here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The ID the data available in the target system. So unfortunately, the source is sending again same data, but target it won't receive the data. It's saying that the data already exists in the system. It won't process that request in the multiple times. Even though source is sending the multiple times, the target, the remote system, it won't process that system. So the data held in the until target is available. So here the advantage is available here is the target is not available, then the data will be held in the source system only. If the target is available, the target is received already data, it is so the source is keep due to some other reasons, the source is sending the source is sending the data, multiple data, same data multiple times, then target it won't receive. Why? Because for the duplicates. So it will stuck here only. This is the advantage of the transactional RFCs. Transactional RFCs. Any questions from anyone here regarding the transactional RFCs? So these both are same. Synchronous, asynchronous means we know. Synchronous means it will wait for the acknowledgement, then send the one more data. Asynchronous means it will not wait for the acknowledgement, it's keep on sending the data. That's both are fine. That's we know. But what about the transactional RFCs? That we should aware of. Then what about the transactional RFCs? The transactional RFCs means this is the way. So while sending the data to primary to secondary, it will assign the one transaction ID, then it will send the data to here. So while sending the data already present, the ID already present, it won't send multiple times. It won't receive the multiple times. And also the target is not available, then the data will be held in here only. These are the two important points for the transactional RFCs. Any questions from anyone here?
Hi, sir. Good morning. This is Parimala, sir.
Yes, Parimala. Good morning.
Sir, if this case happens in the synchronous RFC or asynchronous RFC, what is the source sends the data if the target is shut down or off?
It won't send the
will
data,
the
right?
synchronous?
So it will
Yeah.
fail. It will fail in the SAP system only. Why? Because while sending the data from source to target, so while sending the
Okay.
data through RFC connection, in SM59, we will create the RFC connection. Then you schedule the one job to run it in the target system. So then if the target RFC destination is not available, the job won't run, right? Job will fail, right? Job will fail, or we cannot send the data.
Yes, sir.
So then you cannot transfer it. Why? Because while sending, it will say like your target system is not available, something like that. It will send it. But similar to here, transactional RFCs, it won't check whether the target is available or not. It will check. So it will feed up. Feed up means it will file up the data in the SM58. So even though even though your target is down, you know, and I know, and the system also knows, but the data will held in means it will hold up in SM58. We can see in SM58 we can see the transactional RFCs. You got it? Did I answer your question?
Sir, if this happens in the synchronous RFC connection, if the source is sending the data from to the target, so if whether the target is shut down or if the data, in the which is source sending is already in the target, will it send the acknowledgement that I have already had the data?
No, there is no ID, right? It will keep on sending the data. The target will receive the multiple times, and it will override the existing data. Then it will override the existing way, because here it is not assigning the not assigning the same as like in the transactional RFCs. It's not assigning any data, not assigning any ID, right? It's not assigning the any ID. So So it will keep on sending the data only. It will wait until target will receive, target will send the acknowledgement back to primary, then it will send the one more data. Even the same data also, it will send the data.
So in the case of target shutdown or down, then what is the, I mean, what will that source do, sir?
Yeah, if the target system is not available, then the process goes to sleep mode until system availability. Okay, so we will get the hold, sleep mode in the work process. Sometimes you will see sleep mode and hold status, not hold status, sleep mode and everything, right? So why it is going sleep mode
Yes, sir.
means because
Yes,
of
sir.
the your target system is not available. It won't send the data. It won't send the data. Even if the target system is not available, then the process which is sending to the target will go to the sleep mode, will go and sleep until it will wait until the system availability, the target system availability. It will go and sleep mode.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So here, what exactly happens in the synchronous means it will go sleep mode. Sleep mode. The work process will go sleep mode and it will wait until target system availability. Then target system is available. Then it will send the data. Yes, someone asking something.
Sir, in that case, then duplicate data also will be taken in this synchronous and
It will
asynchronous
override.
process,
Yeah, it
right?
will override. It will override on the existing one. It will override on the existing one. But because it is not assigned in
But in
the
transaction, it won't take completely.
yeah. So it will suppose already data is there. They already here it is sending the data means so it is override on the existing one. Override means the old data will be removed, the new data will get copied here. But here that is the difference, right? Here the transactional RFC, what exactly happens? Data is sending through RFC destination to here, but so here it will assign the one ID, it will assign it to recognize the data. It will assign the one ID. So the same data is already available. It won't send multiple times. It won't send even the target. It won't receive. So already this ID already exists in the system. So it will send it. So normally in all exceptional cases, they will use this transactional RFC. So that is the reason we see in SM58, there is a dedicated transaction code for the SM58 for the TRFC. There we can see the so data, stuck entries, everything we can see there.
Okay, sir. Thank
Yeah.
you.
So
Thank you.
queued RFC means, so it's the advanced version of the transactional RFC. So transactional RFC is like synchronous RFC, right? Queued RFC is like it's like advanced version of the transaction. In this RFC, queued queues are processing in a sequence. Queued up and it's are processing in a sequence. So this will guarantee multiple LUWs, transactional in order. So which means in order wise, the data will be flow in the queues. In order wise, the data will be flow from source to target. So using the queues. So queues, it will here the transactionals will assign it. Here queue wise, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, second, like that. It will queue in the queue. It will assign. It will within the queue. It will assign. It will sorry. Queue wise, it will process the data from source to target. So here we can see in the queues like in SMQ1, SMQ2. So there we can see the data. So in the data, we have some data like the XRFCs, YRFCs, ZRFCs. So data queues wise, it's not all the data at a time. So queue wise, it will send the data. Okay, it will segregate the data. Okay, this data is related to the so these queues, CRM queues, then it will send the data to CRM system. So this data is related to the BW data. Okay, it will send the through queues wise, it will send the data to so BW queues. This data is related to the internal. Then internal queues, it will send the data to internal. Like queue wise, properly in order, it will send the data to source to target system. So source to target system. So that is the reason These two, there is no transactions. In SM59 we can see, and also work process level we can see. But this queued RFCs and transactional RFCs, we have the queues are available queues. So those queues, so we can monitor those queues. We have to monitor as a regular basis in a day-to-day, our day-to-day life, day-to-day, our day-to-day SAP basis work. The first monitoring activities, these are the monitoring activities. So checking the transactional RFC, any transactional RFC are stuck due to some other target is not available, or data already edited in the target system. So something like that, we see the error messages in the SM58 transaction codes. The queued RFCs. The queued RFC here in the order, the transactions will process to target in the order. It will assign the queue in the order. It will assign the, it will send the data to, so it will send the data to your source to target system. It will send the data. So that is the main aim of the queued RFCs, the main aim of the queued RFCs. Okay, so got it. So here we can monitor SMQ1, SMQ2. The detailed discussion will come when the time of when I'm discussing about the, so that when I'm discussing about the daily monitoring transaction codes. So we have the daily monitoring transaction codes. In that monitoring transaction codes, so we have the SM58 will come, SMQ1 will come, SMQ2 will come. What about this SMQ1 and Q2? And where we will get the data from this system, within the system or outside of the system? So those detailed discussion will come. Just this is only the types of connect RFC. So synchronous, asynchronous, transactional RFC, and queued RFC. These are the types of RFC connections we have, right? So this is the, it will assign the transactional ID, it will send the data. So it's it will send the data, all the data. But here queued RFC means queue wise. If you have the queues, suppose like example in the system we have the queues. Suppose like this is a XFQ, this is a XDQ, this is a XAQ, this is a XVBQ. So this is the, so this queue is pointing to the suppose like BW system. This queue is pointing to the one more system. This queue is pointing to the one more system. This queue is pointing to the CRM, like that. So within the system only we have the queues, so that when sending the data, it will, okay, this data is related to this queue, then it will send the data to this queue. Through this queues, data will be processed to the here. So why we will get the data from external systems and inside of the system to again external systems? So data flow, the transactions will happen, right? Suppose you are doing the payment in the Amazon or shopping carts. So you are booking and you are going to the external systems again. Then from their external systems, the payment gateway will happen. There you will book the ticket. There it will generate the one transaction ID. Then the transaction ID, the transaction will give the acknowledgement back to, so your Amazon courier saying that I have received your transact payment is done. Then go ahead and confirm the seat, right? That is called the transactional synchronous RFC. So order wise, so it will send the data. So queues wise, order wise, send the data. Okay, so I will send the notes to this one, detailed notes. I will send the notes so that you can go through. Okay, so this is the, so this is the way of, so this is the types of RFCs. Okay, is it okay for everyone?
Sir, one more doubt, sir.
Yeah.
In the transactional RFC connection type, as you said, the target will deem the, won't allow the same data. Like here we have given 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and if the target is having that same data 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with that ID, target will reject it. But how will the source know that the target is having the data?
Source knows. Why? Because
And
if the secondary will send, secondary will tell, like secondary will, okay, while sending the data to here, the primary will check whether the same data is processed or not. It will send. So it's already processed. It is saying that, okay, this data, this message already exists, already edited in the target system, like that. So the primary knows, primary system will know, so that, so it will stuck here only. It will stuck here only. That's why during the outages due to the someone process during the outages, what happens? The primary will send already data to target. Once the system outage is done, once upgrade is done, the second primary is up. Again, you open the queues while it again sending. So then it's saying that it's already edited in the target system. It's already there in the target system. Like that, we will get the message here. It knows why, because while sending the response to here, it will generate the transactional RFC. The ID same avail the ID, it will for recognizing purpose, the ID same in the data. Okay, so let me share the. Okay, so here, so how the primary knows, right? So how the source knows, right? That is the question, right? Here, so there is a one program actually in the system. While assigning the one transaction ID, the transaction ID will store in the one of the database table, right? So in the regular intervals, there is a one program in the back end that will check, keep on regularly, time to time, it will check it will check. So it will check the regular interval, it will check whether to identify their transactional IDs and everything, it will check in the source, it will check in the source. So that, so while checking, the data is already exist in the target, then the transactional ID or data already assigned means it won't process. So there is a program. The program name is called so it will run backend. So we no need to schedule anything here. So the system will take care of all these things actually. So the program is called the ARFC. Yes, yeah, this is the program name. Yes, right. This is the program RSARFC. So yeah, this is the program. It will run in the backend while triggering the TRFC. It will run in the background. It will keep on checking whether it will keep on checking the transactional IDs and everything. Okay, this transaction is already assigned, so that it will held in the source system only. So that regular interval, so one job we will trigger in the backend. It will check it out automatically. Okay, so yeah, this is about the RFC types. Okay, so the next one, the programs, like what we discussed, right? The programs, where can we run the programs? Okay, so normally today we'll discuss about some of the general transaction codes, like SM. The programs are report execution. This already executed, so it's like SE38. SE38, here we can run the program. Suppose like here we can run the program, we can create the program. So all these things we can do for here. So not we so here like it's a developer. Developers, they will create the program. They will ask basis teams to run the program every day. Instead of running, we can create the job. Then background job we can trigger it. So SA38 or SE38 for the programs are report execution. So, but SA38 is for SA38 is the transaction for the only execution. You cannot create in SA38. You cannot create it. But if you go to SE38, there you can execute it. You can create it. Whatever you want, you can do for that one. But in SE38, this is the transaction code box. If you can execute the program as well, you can execute the program as well. So like RSARFC SC. So this is the transaction. This is the program actually executing ARFC as a background job. So this will execute it. If you display, the source code will be displayed here. That will be displayed in the source code. That will be displayed the source code. What is the code written? So we no need to worry about the code, what is written here. Why? Because we are not the developers, right? So see here, so it's recorded or not. So it's already retried. So there is a transactional ID. So allow the execution of the call queue out scheduler. So there is a code written here. So that based on this code, based on the code, so it will send the data. Okay, this transactional ID already exists in the target, already assigned to some other target. So like that, so it will check that one. There are some tables. You can see the tables here. So in these tables, when the data is sending to the target, there is a record. There is a record of entry noted in the source system itself, so that it will check that record already assigned, already exists, already sent to the target. Okay, it's already sent to the target. Then so it won't go to the next system. That is what it will happen here, because of this program will run in the back end. Okay, I think some connection loss, I guess. So you are up to the speed. So I'm at like I'm explaining about this source code, how the program will check and everything for the transactional RFCs, right? You are able to hear me, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So normally you know it in detailed way. Why? Because you are in the main, like you are in the initial stage only. Just want to explain to answer that question, how the source knows whether this transaction is already assigned to the target, this particular data, which means here this program, this report will run in the backend as per the time interval. So that while running, it will check the tables. First of all, it will check the tables. We'll check the tables here. Okay, in this table, okay, this ID already assigned to the this data or not. This request is already assigned or not. It will check. If it is already assigned, then it will show the error message in our source. If it is not assigned, then it will send the data. That is what there is a keep up tracking record here in the while sending the data, while assigning the transactional ID source to target, there is a transaction ID. It is assigned to this data. This type of recording, like Excel record, so is noted in the database tables itself. So that while assigning the one more request, the same data, it will track it so that it's already assigned. So it will create the one more thing and it will assign it. That is what will happen in the this program ID. Here you can run this program. We can run the program so that it is asking the like transactional RFC, which transactional RFC and everything. So we don't have anything currently. So that is the reason. So it is not the thing. So in the SM58, we can see, are there any transactional RFCs are stuck in the system or not? Here we can see here. So transaction destination, who is the destination transactional RFC? We execute it, we will see nothing was selected. Why? Because currently there is no data flow in the systems. So it won't send any, then nothing, it will show empty. But as part of our day-to-day activity, we have to come to the here SM58. We need to remove the username and check are there any transactions are assigned to the here or not. It will cross check. Okay, it will check here transactional RFCs. Okay, this is the transactional RFCs. Okay, so here transactional RFCs. This program will answer to your question. This program will check and will identify. That is the thing. And also SM38, sorry, SE38 and SA38 is for the program execution. If you want to see the table level data, you can go to SE11 to SE16. SE11 to SE16 for viewing the tables data, table level data. Suppose you want to see the some tables data, then you can put the table name here. Suppose like one of the table name like USR02. Just you can view that. You don't need to go to the database level. Sir, this is a SAP system. So, but how can we see the tables data? Why? Because in the back end we have the database is available. But yeah, we can see the data as well. So you can just go to execute it, then you will see the tables here. How many users are there? This is a users related data. Whatever the users you create, all users data will be available here. So you can see the how many users are there and when they have logged into the system. So all the information we can see from here. Who are the super users? All the information we can see. So you no need to go to the database level and open the table and view the data. So to view the table content, what's there, you can open the SE11 to SE16, any transaction code, suppose like SE16. So just you can open it and I can see the data here. You can see the data. So that is what. Okay. Just to go to the SE11, then go to the T000. The tables related there is one more class for the tables related. I will explain the tables as well. So here you can see T000 database table. Click on the display. It will show the Here there is a execute button. Contents. You want to see the table content, right? Just click on the contents. So you want to see the data. Just click on execute. You will see the data here. You will see the data here. Client 100, 000, that is the thing. So whatever you do here, whatever you do in the SAP system, everything will store data at database level. Suppose you are doing the one transactions here, Rfc, that will assign the one transaction ID here. You will assign the transactional ID. You will assign the transactional ID. So the transactional ID is available here. The transactions, the transactional ID, the payloads, or everything will generate. Everything will generate the data in the table level. Everything will store into the database table level. So it will cross check while sending the data to target. Okay. So that is the this transaction is code for the viewing the tables level data. And this SM38 and SM50 is the so SA38 SE38 for the so programs and reports execution, programs and reports execution we'll see here. Okay, this is the programs and report execution. We will see the things here. We will see the things here. Okay, so this is about the so thing, and this is about the RFC types for today. Okay, so I think we can done for today. So tomorrow we'll discuss about the small topic for today. Tomorrow we'll discuss about the TMS. So very important topic. Don't miss the topic. So we have the regular time. So we'll discuss for tomorrow TMS topic. Okay. Any questions from anyone?